Good day, and welcome back to the channel, Understanding Systemic Police Corruption. My name is Samuel Clark, and I'm affectionately known as the Old Man. And today's discussion will be, what should you do when you're stopped by the police? Now, you've heard all the suggestions. Keep your hands visible. Don't make any sudden movements. Don't sneeze. Don't cough. I mean, come on. Here's the deal. You ever ask yourself why all this is even necessary? You're a law-abiding citizen, haven't done anything wrong, but you're stopped, and now you got to hope that is going to be a positive outcome. So, today's discussion is going to be more on the political side, because systemic police corruption really cannot exist without systemic political corruption. They go hand in hand. So, let's get into it. Now, I'm a retired police supervisor, and I know that if I'm stopped by the police, it could be the end of my life. It's not a question of I'm going to be late for an appointment. It could be the end of my life. I'll never see my family again. So, why should a retired police supervisor be concerned about his physical safety when stopped by law enforcement? Well, I'm gonna give you a guess. Take a minute. Okay, well, if you haven't made a guess, I'm going to tell you. It's because I'm black. And believe it or not, I know it's going to be hard for you to believe, I'm not a super predator. Not a felon, not a criminal, law-abiding citizen. But even though that is the case, that's the truth, I'm still very concerned about my safety, because I know firsthand about the mentality of policing when it comes to black people and how black people are treated. You know, this is the insult of America on black people. It's because of the brutal institution of chattel slavery that occurred for centuries, and for the decades of the brutality of Jim Crow. And even though it's 2024, we are in the new Jim Crow era with mass incarceration and the many other systemic attacks on black people. Ladies and gentlemen, this channel is for adults, not for children. Adults should know there is no Santa Claus. There is no tooth fairy. There is no Easter bunny. But I can assure you, there is racism in policing. During my career as a supervisor, I have written numerous complaints about racism and differential treatment in the police department. And the only thing that occurred was the system attacked me and ended my career. Consider this. When I'm stopped by the police, as I just said, I'm concerned about my physical safety. I'm not concerned about the government of North Korea harming me. I'm not concerned about the government of China harming me. I'm not concerned about the government of Syria harming me, or the government of Iran harming me, or the government of Cuba harming me. That's not my concern. I'm concerned about the mentality of that police officer, a mentality that has been trained based on the system of white supremacy and the system of institutional racism that has existed since the founding of America. That's a fact. You don't need to take my word. You can look that up. There were centuries of brutal slavery. And all this occurred without repair or compensation. That's the problem. And it will continue to exist. As Muhammad Ali, the famous boxer and humanitarian activist, said, and I'm paraphrasing, the Viet Cong never called me the N-word. And he was referring to, of course, the Vietnam War. Consider that my great-great-grandfather was murdered by white supremacists. He hoped and believed that someday his humanity would be seen by America. My great-grandfather hoped that his humanity would be seen by America. My grandfather hoped that his humanity would be seen by America. It did not happen. My father hoped that his humanity would be seen by America, and that didn't happen. I hoped that my humanity would be seen, and that didn't happen. I don't want to hope that my children's humanity would be seen by America. I would like to do something about it. It's extremely important that you understand systems and not the individuals that are living in those systems and simply trying to survive and navigate those systems. We have a system of white supremacy. It's not white people. That's the system of white supremacy. And there's a tremendous difference, because there has always been some white people that understand the dangers of white supremacy. And, you know, you had John Brown and abolitionists and people that supported the Underground Railroad. That's always been the case. But those people don't control the system. They're individuals trying to do their part that happen to be white, but are doing their part to oppose the white supremacy, because they see the danger of that for everybody, for non-whites and whites alike. So it's the system, and it utilizes people through divisions and confusion and some slight rewards. You know, as Malcolm X has said many years ago, and illustrated the difference between the field Negro and the house Negro. And that's sort of a division. You know, the house Negro, who gets a little bit better food and clothing and extracts a little bit more out of the system, many times takes the attitude that, oh, you know, the masters treat me great, you know. And the field Negro doesn't share that attitude at all. So I would suggest that you listen to some of the speeches made by Malcolm X half a century ago that are relevant today. One of the things that exploitative systems do is they blame the victim. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the system. If you people would dress better, talk better, work harder, become more educated, the problem will go away. That's not reality. When I'm stopped by the police, they see a black man. They don't know if I'm from South Africa, from Ethiopia, from Sudan, from Nigeria, from Guyana, from Ghana, from Haiti, from Jamaica, or from any other country. I could be a black person born in Germany. I could be a black person born in France, or a black person born in the United States. It has no relevance. They don't consider my education or profession. They just see the black face. And along with that black face, through the indoctrination and propaganda of white supremacy and systemic racism, that black face is assigned numerous negative connotations. So I'm on my way to commit a crime or just leaving the scene of a crime. I'm somehow guilty and I'm somehow dangerous. This is something that has, in America, has been with me since the first grade, and will be with me until I die if I'm in America. Because that's the American way. Is that all people in America? Is that all white people in America? Absolutely not. But again, it's the system. And the individual great people don't control that system. And in fact, if you attempt to be a part of that system and support the interests of black people, you're going to be out of that system. And you're going to be out of that system. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. As our white brother George Carlin said, and I'm paraphrasing, it's a big club and you ain't in it. You may think you're in it, but you're not in it. So this is done to divide and conquer. And that's how the system survives for so many centuries. And, turn off your mind. These people are inferior, this, that. These are things that you're fed. And you're insulted when you have political leaders saying slavery had benefits to the slaves. That's a mass insult. Say, tell a rape victim, there's benefits that you received from that rape. That's absurd. That's horrific. The brutality of chattel slavery had no benefits to the slave. The benefits came to the slave owner through that system. And the system has had centuries to do the right thing, to compensate and repair. Haven't done it and won't do it because that's not part of the system. So you could be black, you could be white, you could be Asian, you could be Hispanic. You come into any so-called position of power and you try to help black people, you're going to be out. I can tell you from firsthand experience. You try and help black people, and your days are going to be numbered. And if you have powerful figures such as Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X coming together to help black people, you have the Black Panthers working with white people, coming together to recognize some of their common interests and work together for those common interests. That becomes dangerous to a system that has to separate. And it's so easy to do that with black people because they stand out. So that's the bad guy. You just, he's not the victim. He's the problem. That's what they indoctrinate you with through propaganda. The big lie. The fact is about 50% of American people can't afford a $500 emergency expense that comes up that's going to put them in bad shape. You're living from paycheck to paycheck. You can barely afford your medications. Believe it or not, China's not the cause of this. Russia's not the cause of this. Iran is not the cause of this. Black people are certainly not the cause. We did not set this up. We did not set this up. If we were able to be in power, it would be a whole different story. And it would create a world better for everybody based on the African principles of humanity. It would be a better world for everybody. So these are distractions. North Korea, the government of North Korea did not set this up at all. You don't have a national health care system because of the government of North Korea, or the government of Russia, or the government of China. This is American stuff, okay? Trying to deflect your attention to a foreign enemy or a perceived foreign enemy is nothing but a distraction from where the problem stems from. Because if you focus on the real problem and see the real problem, then your eyes will be open. So this has been a little bit longer than normal, and there is still quite a bit of information that would need to be shared. Policing in America has always and always will have a racist element to it. It doesn't matter whether it's in a city with an African-American mayor or council or black police commissioner. That doesn't matter. Because as I said before, if you try to help black people, you're out. So if you're that black commissioner and you're trying to combat the racism, your career is going to be short. And I can tell you this from my own experiences. Without a doubt, my career was terminated under administration that was black, because I was reporting and making official complaints about the treatment of black citizens and black police officers. So that racism is not only against black citizens, but it's against black law enforcement. So this is information that you're certainly not going to get from a retired police officer, because you're interested in your career. If I was interested in my career, all I had to do is not report what I'm supposed to report. I would have had a nice long career, move up the chain of command. You have that corner office, parking space with your name. And that's not my interest, because people died. People died. Not only sacrificed a career, forget about it, their life. So hoping that one day someone that is black would be in some position of authority to say, oh, wait a minute, time out here. This is wrong. So it would be disgraceful for me. And I have the burden of facing death. Because those people before me faced death, I have the burden of facing death to do what I'm supposed to do to get the information out. And every day that I survive, it's a good day. Because I have another day to spread the news. So, like, share, subscribe. You can help support this channel by purchasing the ebook, Understanding Systemic Police Corruption. It's only $3.99, and I know you're broke. Great information that's helpful. So, hey, share, like, subscribe, because nowhere is a retired supervisor like myself in the police department, over 25 years of experience, it's going to tell you these things. So, under the circumstances, good luck and stay safe.